Welcome, everyone. I'm here today with Afaf. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Yes, and um, excited to be interviewing you and telling folks a little bit more about what you're doing with Iconavize. For those tuning in, why don't you please just tell us a little bit about yourself, name and your company and what you're working on.
Awesome, thank you. My name's Afaf Saleh, and I developed an app called Iconavize. I come from the automotive industry, and I always got questions about the vehicle. And along my journey, I wanted to empower people in knowing more about their vehicle. So I developed this app called Iconavize, and it eliminates the guesswork out of knowing what to research and sitting there through YouTube videos and looking through the car manual. All you have to do is take a picture of what you're looking at and ask it a question, and it'll explain the functionality of the car button or icon or whatever you're looking at.
Love it, love it. So, was there a specific moment or experience that made you think that this needs to exist?
Yes, I think when I constantly kept getting the questions about cruise control, that's in particular, from a few of my female friends, and that was like, okay, if like these individuals have a question about it, I'm sure there are so many more people asking about cruise control. And ultimately, I want everyone to utilize everything that they can in their vehicle, and this is a way of doing that.
Love it. How's your vision for Econovize evolved since you first launched?
Initially, I thought it would only be for friends and family, but now, as I've done my market research and talked to so many other people and traveling professionals, I see it going worldwide. I know that, especially in like car dealerships and car rental places, that they could also utilize this app and give it to their customers. That brings value added to them as well. So it has grown so much.
That's great. So you built this initially for yourself and your friends and family?
Friends and family, yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So you've worked in the automotive tech space before.
Yes.
How did that experience shape the app's concept?
I think understanding more of the technology aspect of it and knowing that everyday people won't have the knowledge that I have, especially being in the automotive industry, that has helped develop and relay what I want out of the app, to my software development team. That made it a lot easier to do so.
Got it. So if someone was to say, like what is the core problem Iconovize solves for drivers today? How would you answer that?
It takes away the confusion out of not knowing what a button does. Especially if you're driving and say you want to utilize the cruise control and you're too scared to do that. This empowers you and takes that fear away, empowers you with the information in order to utilize those functions in your vehicle.
Yeah. What are your favorite types of vehicles that you love to drive?
I like sports cars. Initially, I went in the automotive industry because of sports cars. For one of the main ones was the Ford Mustang, and that was a major reason for going into mechanical engineering. But any kind of sports car.
Yeah, just as I'm thinking of, what you're doing, I'm thinking about, 'cause the first time I was in a even just a Chevy, or like a Corvette, I didn't
Yeah.
know like, oh, what does this do? What does this do? And obviously a lot of the sports cars, Ferrari, BMW, even Subarus, right? I could see a lot of people getting a little lost
Literally. Yes.
initially there. And just even with me right now I drive a Honda, and I don't know how to use a lot of like the software
Okay.
inside the car.
Mhm.
So is that something also that Econovize is able to help users, navigate? Like let's say you have a Tesla and right, you don't know it could do all these different things. Is it hardware and software?
Right now, I'm mainly focusing on hardware, icons as well, but it can recognize any question you ask it, especially when you attach a photo to it or take a live photo with your phone. It will be able to recognize that. But of course, as the more I train it and the more input we have from different users, asking it about, let's say, software questions, it'll spit out those answers.
Got it. What makes Iconavize different from looking at the owner's manual or an online forum?
The speed of it. Let's say you're trying to Google something online, it takes time to do that. This is like within less than like a few seconds, you'll be able to get your answers. And then our car manuals, you have to spend time there sitting and trying to find what you're looking for. That is what differentiates Iconavize from what we currently have tradition, like our traditional routes right now.
Okay. So, how do you prioritize adding new vehicles, icons, features to support the database that you already have?
I have us test users and I try to make sure that each test group has a different vehicle, which will range right from your foreign vehicles and then, of course, our OEMs here in the United States. And as we continue growing the user base, that helps with the information.
Okay. Have you observed different patterns, how, certain people are using the app?
A lot of people do want to understand more of like what you have in front of you on the dashboard, but I have noticed people stepping outside of the vehicle and asking questions about, let's say, a muffler or some other question that is under the hood or your the trunk or something like that, which is helping us too to understand what are the users actually asking.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then I'm assuming your app keeps track of all of that
Yes.
and helps improve it. That's great. Has user behavior surprised you in any way since you launched?
I've had a few outliers where they're asking about their coffee machine. I thought that was
No,
interesting to see that
that's
it's not
funny.
only vehicle based, and the app is also answering those questions. It's not as detailed, right, or specific to what our car questions are. It is more general, and it's giving them more like, oh, here are six different things that can be, right?
Okay.
But it's interesting to see what the users are asking.
Have you noticed any trends in terms of your most active users, whether it's new drivers, seniors, travelers? You know,
Mm, yeah, more travelers and new users. I think I have a few where they've had their vehicle for like 10 years, 8, 10 years, and they still have not even touched a specific button because they don't know what it is. And I thought that was interesting too. But a lot of them are more newer users and travelers.
wow.
Yeah.
So in terms of, you're also in the Colaeb Accelerator. So this will be probably a question you get a lot from investors or different folks looking into the business. What's been your go-to-market strategy? Are you primarily B2C, B2B, or is it a mixture of both?
Right now, well, initially it was B2C, and I just wanted to focus on all, my customer. And most recently, I have shifted over to B2B to focus on car rental places and dealerships, car dealerships, because that would also get Iconavize into customers' hands a lot faster than myself going to conferences and showcasing Iconavize. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Can you talk about your freemium model, how that works? And do you have, what are the monetization plans and how do you see that evolving?
Currently, it's on a different, it's ranging from 299 to 599, and it depends on how often you are using Iconavize. I want to make it just a one flat rate fee for annual. I think that's a better way in order to incentivize people to use it more often. So they forget about it. They'll pay for, let's say, $20 for that 1 year, and then they'll be able to utilize it. For me, it's more about getting the information and understanding what users are asking. That's where the value is for me.
Yeah, yeah, running Collab, we've really been a bootstrap business, and we also started with a very low tier subscription model at $5 a month, and just listening to our customers, figuring out how we could get better over the years has been the most invaluable metric that we track internally. So I'm curious about what you're doing at Econavize. What are some metrics that you're looking at closely as indicators of success?
I see how often the users come back. Are they interested in the tier system that we have now? Are they interested in paying $5.99, or are they coming in and just asking a few questions? And once that free trial is over, are they coming back? And noticing that is also something that I'm keeping in mind. And then also trying to understand at what price point do I want to put it when I am dealing with larger corporations such as dealerships, right? It's of course going to be a different strategy when I'm talking to those individuals. And I think that's part of a startup, right? Is figuring that out along the way.
Yeah, that's that's true. So for those looking into watching this right now, is this your first startup? Do you have experience with software? How like how's this been, for you?
That for me, this is my second startup. My first startup was an engineering consulting company, and it's not technical in the software world. It's more, of what I've been doing in my career, and a lot less. So the media channels for Iconavize is so different than my NG Dynamics company. This is heavily media centered and going on like different podcasts and putting a lot of like content on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook to attract the customers for Iconavize. I think it's been amazing to learn and see how different both companies are.
Yeah, yeah. Very like service-based business as opposed to really building the platform, building the asset. I could tell you that the platform and the asset's probably a lot harder off the ground. But over time it could be a lot more beneficial. And there's just a lot of data that you could have and really identify different ways you could help your customers and really help yourself as well in terms of development. So definitely not an easy play. I also run an agency, Stopwatch Creative, which is service-based work, um, and Collab, being more platform-based. But we're now in year 6, so you just got to hang in there. What technical challenges have you faced building, or has AI, um, you know, and also I guess how has AI really helped you in this process?
And initially, I started trying to build it on my own with AI only, and I wanted to see if that was feasible. And because this was a couple years ago, I didn't have enough information like I do now, which is why I opted for the software team to develop it for me. And because it's AI based, like the background is AI based, that definitely is helping, produce the information fairly quickly after training it with just my simple spreadsheet.
That's great. That's great. Are you a fan of any specific model or, um, you
No,
know, okay.
they're all, yeah,
So how do you maintain and update your icon database as car models and technology just rapidly changes?
changing. It's heavily based on our customers for sure. And I think that's why one of the important things is, constantly throwing out campaigns out there and getting as many different users as possible because we have, car technology is advancing so quickly and it's like we're always playing catch up.
Yeah, yeah. Um, what's been the toughest moment in building Iconavize, and how did you overcome it?
I think one of the tougher things is, of course, like financing the project. That is always difficult in finding, different grants out there, different accelerator programs who are willing to buy into this, this dream of mine and actually wanting to fund it with me. And it was a little difficult in the beginning, but then once you get the ball rolling, it's like, oh, wait, there are so many other people who really like the idea and want to see it succeed. That I've been so grateful for. And then, of course, using my own, savings to fund this project. It's like I have to see it succeed, and all this time and effort has been put into the project, and ultimately I want to help people no matter what it takes. It's that's what I want it to do. And the more users, the more positive feedback. It's like, okay, this is something that is right to put out there.
Yeah, no, I love that. Um, what so I'm thinking of any folks listening in and maybe saying, hey, I want to partner up with the FA
Mhm.
and Iconavize. What are some type of direct partnerships that you're looking forward to or just looking towards?
Any car related, partners, that would be great. I want to stay with the theme, right, and continue supporting anybody who wants to get to know more about their vehicles. Any auto dealerships or car rental places, I think that would be amazing to partner up with and continue promoting Iconovize and showcasing like what the technology does and how it helps individuals.
Make sure everyone, and how can everyone get in touch with you so we can do that and we'll make sure we drop your links everywhere.
Okay, the right now on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, I have the Iconovize app. So it's the period Iconovize app. That's the handle.
Got it.
You can
And
also contact me at support at the Iconovize app.com.
got it. And like I said, we'll make sure we drop that, share that with everyone. Um, if just for founders looking in, obviously we know it's not easy building a company and the challenges you face. So what helps you keep you motivated, keep you going, keep you innovating in this space?
For me, I like to challenge myself in learning new things. Entrepreneurship is so different than, working in corporate and having, your KPIs handed to you and like, okay, you go achieve these goals. Entrepreneurship, you have to figure out what has to get done. It's similar to program management where you know what the product is, you know what you have to do, we know how to develop it, we know how to manufacture it and sell it, to the people. You as an entrepreneur have all those hats, under one roof, and you have to figure out what needs to happen and when it needs to happen and how to finance it. That's like the most challenging thing, but it's just figuring that out along the way and having mentors as well along the way to help you. Whenever you do hit a roadblock, it's like, okay, it's time to ask somebody else. And that's when, you swallow your pride and ask for help. And because you're thinking of the bigger picture, this is your project that you want to succeed, and asking for help is okay.
Absolutely. Ask for help. Don't try to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Afaf. I appreciate you stopping in here and telling everyone about Econovize, and we're super excited to just watch you continue to grow and flourish. So
Thank you, Manny. I
appreciate your
appreciate it.
time.
Thank you. You too.